Welcome to Not a Roofers podcast, where we discuss roofing
without all the jargon. I'm Brianna.
And I'm Charity.
And this is today's episode.
Welcome back to Not a Roofers podcast. Today we have a guest and I will let him introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Tim Strupp. I'm the lead roofing technician at Roof Medics.
Well, thanks for joining us today. We're so excited to have you. We're just going to go back and forth. Charity will ask some questions, I'll ask some questions, and this will be super fun. So we're going to start with, how long have you been in the roofing industry and how did you get started?
I am entering my 27th year this year, and I got started. My father had done it for 25 years, and when I got out of school, I tried the old factory route and decided that it wasn't for me. I lasted 4 hours in a factory and I pretty much just walked out. And my parents said, "What are you going to do?" I said, "I don't know, but I'm not working inside anymore." And ever since that conversation, I've been in the roofing industry, following in my father's footsteps.
I'm sure the fresh air is nice also.
Yes.
That's okay. I tried the factory route too. Didn't like it.
Except you lasted like 3 years.
Okay, but it paid for school. So.
I've never worked in a factory. I like being inside, but not in a factory.
You're not missing much.
You're really not.
It's not really on my list of things I want to try either. So, Tim, what is your favorite aspect of working in the roofing industry?
Other than being outside, I enjoy working with different kinds of people in the field, whether it's customers, manufacturers. I'm just a people person.
And that is why you don't have a desk job.
Exactly.
Hey, you can be a people person and still work in a desk job.
I work in a desk job, so I don't really have to interact with people.
Yeah, okay.
In my home.
Well, cool. So you touched on it a little bit that you went to go work in a factory, but was this your dream, like when you were growing up and in elementary school and they asked you, what are you going to be when you grow up? Was this what you said, or did you have a different idea in mind?
Was not my dream job. My dream job back when I was a little tyke was being a professional athlete, like most kids are. But of course, that didn't work out for me. So, I enjoy my job. I enjoy my job quite a bit. So I guess now my older years, is this my dream job? I've been doing it for so long, I don't think I could do anything else.
That's okay. We've said it on other guest episodes. Charity's dream was to be a teacher, and mine was to be a librarian. Well, actually, if we're going to go way back, my dream was to be a princess, but...
A princess?
Or a ballerina.
How is that working out?
It's not. I remember being in like kindergarten, and my dream was to be a princess or a ballerina or princess ballerina or whatever.
Am I the only one that like had the dream at 3-year-old to be a teacher and kept that dream all through schooling until I started this job? Like I even taught for a few years in there too.
Maybe. You're in good company because we were also in this now, and this wasn't what we thought either. So it's just always interesting to see where people wanted to be and where they are, and yeah.
So what is your biggest goal? And it doesn't not have to be related to the roof, just your biggest goal in general.
My biggest goal is doing anything to the best of my ability and providing for my family.
It's a good goal.
So to touch a little bit more on that, I want to make sure that my kids are always better off than when I was a child. And the same as when I was a child, my parents always wanted me to have more than what they did. So I guess it's just the way I was brought up. I want my kids to be better off than I was when I was a kid.
I can relate to that.
It's a good goal. I can't. I don't have kids, but...
You got a hedgehog, though.
Do I want my hedgehog to be better off than I was? Well, it's kind of hard to to say because I don't know what is good off for a hedgehog.
Oh.
It's our team mascot. Gotta get it a little Arithmetics shirt.
You know, we're working on her liking us, so we're gonna start there. But what is the funniest, worst, best? It could be one of them, all three of them. Take it however you will. Story from a roofing job.
Worst would be 10 years ago, I actually fell off a roof.
No.
I was going to hook myself back up with my harness, and it was slippery. I fell one story, and ever since that happened, I am super safety conscious.
Yeah, I can understand why.
Yeah, I mean, when the whole process was starting, I'm like, Tim, whatever you do not land on your head, do not land on your back. Everything else will be fine. Because there was 4 feet of ice below the roof, and it was like, well, between ice and hard snow, it's like, well, I got to get myself away from that. So that would be the worst that's ever happened to me. And I've been on big jobs, small jobs. Probably the biggest job I've ever been on was when I first started roofing. I was doing a job in Des Moines, Iowa, Super Value Foods warehouse, and that roof is probably 3/4 of a mile wide. I mean, you can stand on one side and barely see the other side of it.
I can't even imagine that.
No.
Yeah.
Bria and I have discussed in other episodes how I haven't actually really been on any roofs, but at least she gets to go up on some of them.
Well,
Yeah.
you can go on roofs.
No, that's okay.
You know, with all of the times that Charity has hurt herself in her life, I feel like we would all rather she didn't.
Well,
I'll second that.
keeping her on ground level.
Yep.
And even then, that's if
even then she hurts herself.
So we get asked, I get asked a lot of questions when people call in. They ask about call into the office when I'm answering calls. They ask different questions about roofs, and I have no idea how to answer these questions because I don't know much about roofing. So, Tim, what question do you get the most from customers about roofing?
One of the biggest ones is, how bad is it? Or, do I need a new roof? Why is it leaking?
Those are all great questions.
And I suppose, do you get any of them questions?
I get, do I need it replaced a lot?
Yeah.
But I can't tell them if they need it replaced if I've never seen it.
And that's where I come in.
That is, I send the jobs to you.
How often have you gotten a question asking if it needs to be replaced and it actually had to be replaced?
I get that question an awful lot, but when I tell a customer that it doesn't need to be replaced, the follow-up question is, well, how long is it going to last? And the answer to that is, it could last a year. It could last 2 years. It could last up to 5 years yet. I just can't guarantee it. But these are the steps that we can do to hopefully get you there. And 9 times out of 10, they're like, okay, let's try that. Because, I mean, really, they're thinking the worst. I mean, well, how much is it going to cost me to replace my roof? It's going to be expensive. It's not cheap to replace a roof, whether it's a residential or a commercial flat roof.
Sounds like you have great answers for them.
I've been doing it a little while.
Yeah, just a little bit. You know, you have some experience. So we're coming to the end of the interview. So we just throw in this question to kind of be lighthearted, have some fun at the end. So if you could have a billboard with anything on it, what would it be and why?
I had a billboard. Well, I mean, right now it would be, we're still living in hashtag 2020. and I am about done with that.
Aren't we all?
I mean, it was a trying year. I mean,
Mhm.
we had to, I wouldn't say jump through hoops, but it made my job a whole lot more difficult than the previous years. But I got through it. We all got through it. And it's just time to move on. I just want to get back to the norm.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
My life didn't change.
I mean, yeah, 2020 was a big year in my life, though. A lot of things happened, so.
I'm the odd man out on this one. Everything was the same for me. Do you have anything else to add that you think people should know?
You don't always need your roof replaced, is my big thing. You need to know that from day one that you get your roof, there will be required maintenance. And that's what we strive on. I mean, maintenance is a big thing. You can get a whole lot more out of your roof system as long as it's maintained.
Well, that is a really great point. Thanks for sharing that with us. And thank you for joining us on the podcast today. That brings us to the end of today's episode. If you've been loving what you're hearing, make sure to press the subscribe button so you get notified anytime we post a new episode. Episodes come out on Monday and Fridays. Please feel free to share this podcast with a friend. We'd love everybody to be able to join us and learn more about the roofing industry as we go along on this journey. If you don't already, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. I will put all of our information down in the show notes below. Feel free to contact us with any questions or any roofing ideas that you would love for us to talk about. I hope you have a great day, and we will see you next time.